Hello YouTube, Robert Alvarez, the Psychic Witch, also known as Mr. Lighting and a Fan. Good evening to all of you in YouTube land. I do hope and pray that you and yours are happy and healthy and safe and well. Right now, the date is Wednesday, September 7th, 2022, and the time is approximately 10:42 p.m. Eastern Time. Yes, we are using the late night department of the YouTube studio of yours truly, Robert Alvarez, the Psychic Witch, also known as Mr. Lighting and a Fan. And yes, I have my lighting and I have my fan. I don't talk about the weather that often, but earlier this morning I was actually cold. I had to close most of the windows in my apartment because they were all open. And then I think to myself, let me wear a sweater. So I wear a sweater, go to a doctor's appointment, follow up, I'm good. They drew blood for more tests, fine by me. And then I'm like, it's warm. And I'm like, I can't wear this sweater unless I want to be dripping. So yeah, I'm a little annoyed, but I got over it. Anyway, right now the moon is waxing in Aquarius and the sun is transiting in Virgo. All this healing, higher self energy in the air. So I wanted to do the Many Moons Lunar Planner for September 2022. So of course I'm going to have my awesome audiovisual person, also known as Drake, do a close-up of the gorgeous cover of the calendar planner. I am just so enamored by this. I mean, I do not get tired of this. It's just gorgeous. And then I'm going to have him do a close-up on the back. And you can see the back is a little worn because, you know, I do keep it in my bag pretty often. But I am going to have him highlight and spotlight this beautiful Vesica Pisces. I love that it's a pink full moon and a navy blue new moon, and they're conjoining. It's just gorgeous. Just gorgeous. So, oh, and speaking of the Many Moons Lunar Planner, soon it will be that time of the year when they start accepting pre-orders for the 2023 Many Moons Lunar Planner. I should be receiving that email soon, so, but then again, as some of you know, my email server changed. So I went from being the tarotman at excite.com to the tarotman at bluetiehome.com. So I might need to re-sign up. That's not the correct form, I do realize that, with Sarah Faith Gottesdiener's company. Anyway, so September monthly overview. The theme for September is your bodies. You are an incredible technology that contains multitudes. I'm going to read that again because that is just so beautiful and so powerful. It cannot be read just once. You are an incredible technology that contains multitudes. There is your emotional body, the patterns of response that crash, subside, and ripple on the shorelines of self. There is your physical body, the container that holds the spirit, or as I love to call it, the soul. Your nervous system is a body that influences the flavors of reaction that underscore certain timelines, learned programs, physiological habits, and coping mechanisms. There is your psychic body, all the levels of consciousness and intuition that inform the myth of your life. There is your body of work, what must be done in a day, year, lifetime, as well as what preoccupies and motivates you. There is your behavioral body, the habits and actions that, over time, create your world. Your bodies also include the various ecosystems that you are nourished by and play a part in sustaining. The land that is your home, the trees that grow from the dirt you walk on, whoever you listen to, dialogue with, love, hate, are in community with, or influenced by the other bodies that keep you alive. This month, September 2022, honor all of your bodies. One could argue that from now until your very last breath, honor all of your bodies, but I digress. The pain body that offers up messages and teaches compassion. The pleasure body that longs for sunny, slow afternoons and dips in saltwater pools. The physical body that is the perfect vessel for your soul's expression. Make this month the month to tune into how your bodies interact. Name and care for the bodies that make you you, so as to understand how to care for the ecosystems that connect, tether, and expand your experience on Earth. For this month's tarot spread, sign up for our newsletter, or rather for the newsletter of Goddess, which is her name on Instagram. But I'm not feeling guided and led to pull a card. I know I could easily do that, but there are plenty of other YouTube channels for that. You don't need another one. You really don't need another one. So it's funny that this is, okay, so I will admit this is the first time that I read this. And it is very timely because of several reasons. Number one, recently somebody shared with me that somebody that this person knows saw a photograph of me that I took, or that was taken of me when I was in Philadelphia approximately 2 weekends ago, or rather 2 weeks ago. And the person said that I looked like I was pregnant. And I must admit, it bothered me. It bothered me for a few reasons. Number one, I acknowledged that I had gained weight in the last few months. Number two, I also acknowledged that I have been experiencing challenges and struggles in maintaining activity, because for a very long time my pattern has been sedentary, and I'm at a chronological age where being sedentary does not serve my best interests, and it certainly does not serve my needs. Physical, physiological, mental, emotional, spiritual, etc. It also bothered me because I remember when I was a little boy, there were kids that teased me for my weight and said that I looked pregnant, and even went so far as to say, you know, when are you going to give birth? Or are you going to have a boy or a girl? And this person who made this comment is not a skinny bitch. She's what I would call full-bodied, or full-figured. So the fact that she made this remark was very upsetting for me, and it was very frustrating for me. And I acknowledge that there have been some body issues that have come up for me the last few months. There have been some emotional issues and some personal issues that have come up the last few months. And I know why. On a higher level, I know that they're coming up, they're resurfacing, so that I can more deeply heal them. And it doesn't make it any more pleasant, for the record. And just because I'm a spiritual person and a magical being doesn't make it any more easy or effortless. In fact, in some ways it makes it more challenging. At least that's my experience. So, reading what Sarah Faith Gottesdiener wrote sometime between 6 to 12 months ago for this calendar planner for 2022 really resonates very deeply with me. And it reminds me that I don't have to be a health and fitness nut to be healthy, that I don't need to starve myself, that I don't need to join a gym, which COVID-19 is still a thing. And there is a gym, which is interestingly enough, in the same mini shopping mall in my area as a Starbucks coffee and a supermarket. And I love this particular supermarket. It's an Aldi supermarket. And I will tell you that seeing no one wearing a face mask gives me all the reasons in the world to save my money and not even bother obtaining a membership or even considering a membership. And it kind of bothers me because it is a very well-known fitness chain, at least in the United States. I don't know if they have locations in other countries, but it's one that I've known about for years. And, you know, seeing so many people just not wearing a face mask when they're not actively eating or actively drinking. And, you know, people can exercise wearing a face mask. I've done it. I've done it on numerous occasions, in fact. So, you know, when I do exercise, that is, and when I'm around other people. When I'm home by myself, or when Drake, more commonly known as my awesome audiovisual person for my YouTube videos, is here, and I'm using my pedal bike, I'm not wearing a face mask because I don't feel the need. He's been vaccinated, I've been vaccinated. I know that I recently had my second booster shot, so, you know, I feel like I'm okay to like be in my own home not wearing a face mask. But I will say that when I'm in public, I wear it. And I'm going to continue wearing it probably well after 2025. At this point, I'll probably be wearing it well into and well after 2030, as in the year 2030. But again, I digress. And I will also acknowledge that there are certain things that I have not been doing to continue shedding excess pounds, to continue strengthening my body. And I don't have as many excuses as I once did. So I know that there are things that need to change. And this blurb for September 2022 from the Many Moons 2022 Lunar Planner is a strong and clear and evident reminder. In the meantime, I want to, as always, thank the Sarah Faith Gottesdiener, Goddess, on Instagram for writing and creating and co-creating an amazingly beautiful, immensely powerful lunar planner that is magical, that is uplifting, that is healing physically and emotionally for me and for so many other people, and for making it as affordable as possible, and for being committed to not selling it on Amazon.com. And I really dig that. I really dig that because, you know, I personally do not have an issue with wealthy people, and that is something that I didn't need to fix, quote unquote fix, before I began leading prosperity classes. And believe me, when I used to teach prosperity classes, I encountered more than a few people who had a lot of negative opinions about people that are wealthy. And surprise, surprise, these are people that had the most financial issues. So, but that really is another topic for another video for another day. But I am immensely forever thankful to Sarah Faith Gottesdiener for this beautiful calendar planner that she continues to publish, even though I thought 1999 was going to be the last year, and I had it on good authority that was going to be the last year. So I continue to be happily delighted and surprised. And of course, I want to thank all of you in YouTube land for honoring who I am and what I do, and for honoring Drake, more commonly known as my awesome audiovisual person for my YouTube videos and everything he does as well. Thank you so much for all the likes, for all the comments, for all the shares, and for all the subscriptions to my YouTube channel. And of course, an extra big and beautiful thank you to all of you who have scheduled your sessions, including the 2 individuals who are going to come to me at Notions and Potions on Friday, September 16th, 2022, to have readings with me early in the day, as well as the private client who is scheduling a phone reading, actually who has scheduled a phone reading with me this Sunday, September 11th, 2022 at noon p.m. Eastern Time, if I remember correctly. And thank you to those of you who have bought me a coffee. I wish all of you a beautiful night, a wonderful week, and intensely healing full moon weekend. And of course, stay tuned for the next video.